Hello, VR designer Chris here. Today I want to react to Telltale's trailer of the Expanse series. This is a story trailer, and I have an interesting perspective because I've worked on all 6 seasons of the show, so let's get into it. The one thing I do like about this trailer is that we do get exteriors of some ships. We also get some main story beats, mainly that there is a huge cache of something. We don't know what it is. They're calling it treasure, it's loot, it's what belters love. So I do want to break things down into certain elements, and I do have some criticisms about the game trailer as well, but overall I am pretty excited for it. So yeah, I guess the first thing I want to start off with is I want to talk about the ships in this trailer. The first ship I want to talk about is this belter looking ship. The reason why I think it's belter is because of the containers on it, and there's no indication that this is a UN or a MCRN faction ship. And the one thing I found interesting about this ship is the 3 drive plumes instead of 1 massive cone, or why they are linearly positioned and not radially positioned. Still, it's an interesting choice, but I'm not necessarily against it. Here we see that same ship firing some PDC rounds, and I think they did an excellent job at portraying this. The PDC rounds look phenomenal coming out of the cannon, and I will be talking about the PDCs later on. But moving on to the next ship, I want to talk about this. I'm going to call it Mystery Faction Belter ship. That kind of reminds me of an MCRN ship, but I don't think it is. I'm fairly certain this is a rival Belter faction ship, but the fact that it's giving me so much MCRN vibes leads me to believe, do we have like a Pella situation going on where it's like a ship that is an MCRN ship that's reconstituted into a Belter fleet? I don't know. I'm very excited to see more about this ship. Love the skull as well as an indication that this ship means business. So over here we have confirmation that this debris is part of a UNN ship, the UNN Hiram. And we know that there's going to be a story element where Drummer will be exploring this ship. So we do have a UNN ship, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to play this level, but I haven't exactly seen a MCRN ship yet, so I'm wondering if they're going to be showing that later on in the game or not. We do see glimpses of another ship here. I don't have much to comment on it other than it's looking more MCRN-like, but I can't say definitively. Also, interesting choices with the drive plume, but again, this image is a little blurry. I'm excited to see more about it. And we can also see PDC on the left, which is what I want to talk about next. All right, so when I saw this part of the trailer, my got rock hard. I was so excited to see this PDC. I actually made a 3D model of a show accurate PDC. If you guys want to see that video, I'll link it up above. And I think they did a wonderful job with this. And of course, we also get to see it firing, which is great as well. I think they did an awesome job with the PDC. I wonder how the space combat is going to affect the story, but I highly doubt you're going to be able to actually control the space combat, if that makes sense. This is a Telltale game after all, but still, I love this, and I think they did a great job 3D modeling the PDC. As someone who has not only modeled their own show accurate PDC model, but as someone who's worked on the show, I think they did a good job. I want to briefly talk about this story element here.
Whatever this treasure is, the one thing we know is that it will change everything.
When it comes to emphasis on this treasure, I am wondering how they're going to pull this story element off. Is it going to be a scenario like the proto-molecule, which is something that actually changes everything? I don't know, this being a prequel, if they're going to bring something like some unknown tech into the mix. I'm just a little skeptical on how they're going to pull off this story plot. I'm very intrigued as well and excited. So yeah, we'll have to see what's going to happen. The next thing I want to talk about is this mysterious figure who looks like they are wearing some MCRN power armor. They are probably going to be an antagonist of some sort, especially because we can see them dragging Drummer.
Just like series, only this time no dolls to keep you on the leash, yeah?
Love this reference here. Shout out to Anderson Dawes. Alright, so I got a majority of the stuff I want to talk about out of the way. Now I'm going to talk about some nitpicks or some criticisms. Again, I could talk about this trailer for probably an hour, so I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit short. Alright, in this scene here we have a torpedo that just seemingly disappears into nothingness. This seems like a bit of a graphical issue to me, but moving on. Something about this helmet seems off. I think it's the front visor or the shape of the helmet. This character's helmet seems a bit big and it's a bit distracting. Here we have a particle hit, but there's no mark left at the point of impact. I feel it's a bit odd. I also feel like this particle hit's a bit simplistic. I think using some smaller particles as well with the larger ones might help a little bit. I don't know, it's just my first reaction to that. I am gonna list off some things I do really like about this trailer, and first off, I'm gonna say I think they got the interiors of the ship looking really good. I love the playback, and I think the vibe is totally there. I do enjoy Drummer's exterior vac suit. I think they did a phenomenal job with that. Thumbs up, great work. Of course, I talked about the PDC and how much I love that, but you guys already heard that earlier in the video. I also really like the voice acting. I think the voice acting is spot on. I'll be interested to see how the story plays out with the voice acting, but I think the voice acting is great. I think the exterior of the ships look pretty awesome, even though the drive cone situation is a bit questionable. I do think that they did a good job on the exterior of the ships. Hey, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I just want to say that I'll be playing this game 24 hours before it releases because I'll be purchasing the deluxe version and I'll be live streaming it. So don't miss that. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.